Okay, looking at these examples, in order to get rid of the radical sign on the denominator, which is the bottom term, we need to we need to multiply the top and the bottom by the denominator. So the denominator is radical 8, so we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 8. And remember that radical 8 times radical 8 just turns into an 8, because radical 8 times radical 8 is radical 64, and the square root of 64 is 8. And then I have 2 radicands, so I can go ahead and multiply those. And 7 times 8 is 56. And I have that x, and that is inside of the radicand. Now I want to see if I can break down the 56 even further. And I know that 4 and 14 would break that down even further. And I know 4 is a good one because it's a perfect square, and it's going to come out of the house as a 2. And I know the x is going to stay in there right here because it didn't pair up with anything, but let's see if we can break the 14 down any further. So we're going to have 7 and 2, and those are both prime. So those have to stay inside of the house. So we've got a 14 that stay inside of the house as well. And that's all over 8. And the last step that we need to do is to reduce the 2 over 8. So that would make that go away. And 2 goes into 8 4 times. So the answer would be radical 14x over 4. All right, so we're going to get rid of the radical sign by multiplying the top and the bottom by radical 6. The bottom turns into just 6, and the top turns into radical 12, and we can try to break that down. 6 and 2, and 3 and 2, and it does have a pair of 2s, so I can pull a pair of 2s out. And the radical 3 will stay on the outside, divided by 6. And again, I can reduce the 2 over 6. 2 goes into 2 one time. So I'm just going to rewrite the radical 3 because I don't need to write the 1. And 2 goes into 6 3 times. So that would be my answer for number 2. And taking a look at number 6. Notice how it's all under one big radical sign, but that's the exact same thing as radical 5 divided by radical 6. If you want to rewrite it, that's fine. I don't know what that was. And I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the denominator of radical 6. So I know radical 6 times radical 6 is going to give me 6. And on top, a radical 5 times a radical 6 is going to give me a radical 30. And then I would want to see if 30 breaks down any further. So I can say 5 and 6. And I know 6 only can give me a 3 and a 2, and I don't see any pair. So it's factored, or it's simplified as far as it will go. So radical 30 over 6 would be my answer for that one.